I've tried OpenMediaVault quite a few times on this channel, and the general consensus is that it's fine for a lightweight NAS operating system, but that's really it. And sure, there's ways to do containerization and install apps on here, but I've never really liked the implementation, so I never really use it. Now, admittedly, I haven't tried OpenMediaVault in quite a bit, so that's what we're going to do today, see if OpenMediaVault 7 is the implementation that will get OpenMediaVault to be a proper operating system rather than just something you install on a Raspberry Pi. So this video is going to be a little bit different here. It isn't scripted. There's no teleprompter. All I've done is install OpenMediaVault 7 on one of my test systems, and we're just going to explore it as I would normally. So here we are on the dashboard. All I've done so far is installed OpenMediaVault, obviously. I've configured a couple of things on the dashboard, and I've set up my RAID pool, and that's it. That's all I've done. So we are going to dive right in here. Generally, it looks pretty much the same, which is a simplified, just regular old dashboard, nothing fancy at all. And right off the bat, a text issue with the host name. There's no word wrap. There's no scaling of the little widgets here. We just get this kind of overlay into the next piece of text, which isn't a big deal. Obviously, it's not a big deal, but it's one of those things that when you see it on the dashboard, it just makes it feel not polished. And I think that's just what I've felt this whole time about OpenMediaVault. Okay, yeah, like I said, dashboard pretty much the same. I do see that they added a new widget, maybe a couple of new ones, one being the disk temperatures, which is nice to have on here. So I do like that. Updates available. No, this is completely up to date on version. I guess I can tell you that. Surely that's listed somewhere, right? Here we go. We are on. Well, you're really not going to tell me what version I'm on in the about? That's a choice. Okay, there we go. Diagnostics system information. 7.4.3-1 Sandworm. Okay, that's the dashboard. You see it. If you've used OpenMediaVault before, it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, let's go into what makes a NAS in terms of storage. So diving into storage, we can see our disks. I assume none of this has changed. So if you're coming to this video looking for an overall OpenMediaVault tutorial or walkthrough, this probably won't be it, but we will cover a decent amount of the basics. So yeah, here you can see our disks. I have two 4 terabyte drives and a 60 gigabyte boot drive. To create your actual RAID array, you have to create a file system, and I've done that. I've used ButterFS, which I do like. It's a cow system and allows for snapshots. Very nice. What? I'm filming. You want to be in the video? So you can say hey to all the fans.
I said, hey fans. No, you should see there's a pile near the door, and that's all from his one leg.
Okay.
Because he was laying on the other side when I was brushing.
So yeah, this is the file system. We don't have any share folders. Like I said, I haven't done any of this yet. Disks, where did I actually create the RAID configuration? File system, you can pick between these. I suggest ButterFS. From there, this is where you actually create the array. Depending on what you want to do, 0, 1, 10, pick that, and then you'll be able to select the disks. Obviously, I've already done that, so blah, 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 we're good. An actual shared folder. So if you have an NAS, you want to share that. So let's go ahead and do that. Surely it's pretty basic, right? Create. Yes, that's what I want to do. OMV share. File system, yep, the one we created before. Very nice. The relative path. So it'll create this. If you want to put it somewhere specific on the file system, you can do that. I'll let it just create this. Save. Oh yes, I see they haven't removed the pending configuration changes after everything. Great. Okay, so theoretically, we should have a shared folder now. And what I do remember from OpenMediaVault is that that doesn't mean we can actually access it. So just for fun, let's try to access it. I don't think we're going to be able to. Cannot access. Okay, that's what I figured. So we actually have to either start the SMB service or actually mark this as an SMB share, which I think was confusing in previous versions, and it does seem that it's not too intuitive right now. You would think that they'd give you some kind of message like, hey, you created this share, but SMB isn't running, so you can't really access it. So into services, we can go into SMB, CIFS, settings, and obviously it's not enabled. Let's enable that. All this, we're just going to leave to default. Okay, it's enabled, of course. Okay, now under here you'll see shares. So we have the shared folder, but we don't have a Samba share or an SMB share or a CIF share. Here's where you'll go in and actually select the shared folder that you created. Here it is. This, I think, is where you can probably set permissions on the actual share. I'm sure it's somewhere. Enable recycle bin, a lot of just standard SMB stuff here. We're going to leave it all default. Hosts allow, host denies is good in case you only want specific subnets or IPs access to the share. You can set it here. Save that. And God damn it. And then technically after this, we should be able to access it. Unless we are Unless we are missing permissions somewhere. We're in. Can we create a folder? Folder. Hey, let's go. Okay. So that's how you create a share in OpenMediaVault. And I don't remember every little opinion I've had on OpenMediaVault over the years, but I do remember not liking this, and I still don't like it. If the base of your entire operating system is being a NAS, and the main functionality of a NAS is to create shares, then this should be the most intuitive, most simple thing about it, and it's just not. I mean, you're probably thinking to yourself, oh, it's not that bad. Once you know how to do it, it's fine, and I agree. But why is it so convoluted? Anyway, whatever. Okay, we have our share. But how do we set permissions? Like permissions on the file system and then the ACLs on the actual share should be two separate things. Permissions, this is on the actual shared folder on the file system, but not the actual SMB share. So I guess just set it here and call it a day, which is fine, I guess. You can set it per user if you want. Okay, so here's your ACLs where you have an owner, a group, and then I assume you can add file access control list, so you can add them here. I guess it just by default has all the groups. So here's my main user. I can set it here if I want. And then I can also set the permissions on the folder itself. Okay, so if you don't use Samba or CIFS or whatever, you have NFS, which is essentially the same. Shares go in, you can select a folder. If I want to also have an NFS on the same folder, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but you can. And it's essentially the same thing. So now the other thing with having a NAS is creating these shares to write to them and access the data on them. But another thing is to have the system itself push the data back. And what a lot of these systems rely on is something called Rsync. I know OpenMediaVault does because I see it right here. And this actually goes both ways. You can use Rsync to do automated pushes from the NAS to another system or pull into the system itself. So here you can see it breaks it down into tasks and server. And what I'm assuming this is task to push or pull, and server is to set it up as an actual Rsync device that we can have other systems push back into it. So let's go into server, settings, let's enable it. So I will say none of this stuff seems different in OpenMediaVault 7. So if you like OpenMediaVault, this is fine. If you didn't like it before, you're probably not going to like it now because overall it doesn't seem like much has changed. Now we need to go into modules, and we're actually going to create a module to make it easy to reference this from other systems. So we'll create one. Actually, let's create another shared folder just for Rsync. We'll do one OMV Rsync. Yep. Okay. Save. Oh my God. Modules. Create. OMV Rsync. Name of the module will be, we'll just keep it the same, I guess. This is the name of the file transfers to and from. So nobody is the default. If you want to do this as root, if you want to do this as a specific user, you would set it here. Now it's often recommended to create a user for Rsync transfers. That way you can have the same user on both sides. So where permissions will line up nicely. you'll want to do that. And in my setup, I'm pretty sure I just use a user called Rsync. So let's actually go ahead and create that first. Create Rsync groups. No, it's fine. Save, cool. All right, bro, I hate this. I hate this so much. It's not about asking me to confirm this. It's just the fact that I do it and then like 5 seconds later it asks. Okay, we're going to use the user Rsync. We are going to say that the user Rsync. See, this is what is confusing about this. So what I've always done is specify the user that is going to be the one that the file system sees as doing the transfers. And then I guess there's another layer of permissions on top of Rsync to say which users can do this. Anyway, the rest of this is just basic Rsync stuff. We're not going to dive into that. Save. Cool. Okay. We have a Rsync module. I should be able to access this from another system. So I'm on my TrueNAS system, and the way this works is I can pick a source. So something I want to back up on here. Let's do something pretty basic and easy. How about let's back up my YouTube videos from this year. Now here is why I mentioned when you select the user, it's good to have the same user on both sides. And I do have an Rsync user on both sides. And direction, we are going to push. Now here, since we created a module, we can select module. The host is going to be the IP, and the module name is OMV Rsync. Schedule will be monthly, sure, because we're probably just going to delete this right after. Save. Does it work? Run job. Says it's running. I should probably have something on here that shows the incoming speed or the incoming network info. So let's do that, I guess. Can we not see? Surely I can see. No. Okay, we can't see traffic, but apparently it's running. I hear it, so it's got to be working. Why can't I see network traffic? That's such a good thing to have on your dashboard. Like, look at TrueNAS. Network traffic. I guess we could see if we have going out, and we do. Check it out. 230, it should be megabytes per second. Okay, well, I guess that's working. Neat. I wish there were some way to see that. Surely we can browse file system, right? No. Can we browse the shared folder? No. I guess we could just copy this path and go into the CLI and see what's in there. Surely there's a shell in here, right? No built-in shell. I think I complained about this before. Users must be assigned to the _SSH group to be able to log in via SSH. Okay, SSH group. So if I go to users and groups, there are no groups. Okay, maybe I can go in here, edit and add it. Okay, maybe I can add it here. Okay, that's not intuitive. Okay, let's SSH in and access the map. Oh my God. All right, I'm gonna stop trying to freak out every time I see that. Yep, no home directory. Okay, it's fine, I don't need one. Okay, so it's moving, we can see that. Okay, so the Rsync's working, fantastic, there we go. Easily confirmed. Now I did see something else when exploring that I should touch on, and that's snapshots. So within the shared folders, you can create snapshots. One of the benefits of cow systems, copy on write, like ButterFS or ZFS, are snapshots to create periodic snapshots of either your file system or folders or whatever, so that if you make changes that you don't like or something happens, you can roll back to previous ones. Let's see. So we can go to snapshots. I guess that's how you create one. Okay, we don't have any, so we'll create one. Okay, so just created a snapshot. I want to, scheduled tasks. Maybe that's what we want to do. Okay, can I really only do it? I can only do it on these intervals. Surely I can change that, right? Okay, so now they give us more options. So you have to pick one, and then you can go in and select certain dates. And you can essentially just set it. You can customize it here, so sure, you get it. Okay, save. Okay, so then we have our scheduled for our snapshots. Okay, so now if I go back to snapshots, where am I? To put me somewhere. Okay, so we have a snapshot, the one we created manually. We have a scheduled task to do the snapshots. Now, I assume if I click on this, I can just revert. Yeah, surely I can share. Wait, what? The shared fold, wait, I don't think that's what we want. Wait, so, okay, so how do we restore from a snapshot? How do we do that? You would think you could just like click this and be like, yes, restore from here. I don't know. All snapshots? Yeah, I legitimately don't know. So, yeah, that's not intuitive either, apparently. Unless I'm just straight up an idiot, which is very possible, but why? Why is everything so unintuitive in OpenMediaVault? Okay, whatever. We have snapshots, don't know how to use them, but they're there. Not a fantastic experience from just a basic NAS perspective, which is unfortunate because that's kind of all this has going for it. Like I mentioned, there is apps and containerization, so let's take a look at that. Maybe they've updated it. Previously, they've gone from having Yacht, I believe, as their main Docker orchestrator. Why they went with that over Portainer, I don't know. I think they did use Portainer by default one time. So I believe you have to install OpenMediaVault extras even to have that. Where's that even? System, plugins. Okay, so under plugins, here's kind of your apps. We have apt. If you want to use apt to manage packages, you can install the plugin that lets you manage apps via apt. Claim AV, don't know what that is. Disk, stats. Okay, file browser. Let's try that. I do like file browser, so surely it's a one-click, simple installation, right? Install. Do I really want to? Bro, if it asks me to confirm and then asks me to apply pending changes. Okay, so services. Oh, look, file browser. Okay, let's click on that. Admin, don't forget to change the password immediately. Okay, enabled on this port. We can specify that if we want. Location of the media files. I guess we have to pick a shared folder we want it to access. So let's do our Rsync. Since we want to be able to see what's in there, let's go ahead and do that. Save. All right, open UI. Very nice. We're in, and here's our Rsync folder. If we go in there, you can see all the videos I've made and all my backups. But yeah, I mean, that worked. That was easy. I will give them credit where credit is due. These plugins, my test of one of them has confirmed that they all work fantastically well. But what about stuff that's not in their list? I didn't even look at the entire list of things. We have file browser, don't know what that is, an FTP server, Photo Prism. There's some weird choices for default standardized plugins, and that's it. There's 22. Kubernetes apparently is their new way of doing containerization in here. If you want to do custom stuff, apparently you have to do it in Kubernetes. Why? No one wants Kubernetes in OpenMediaVault. Maybe there's like one person in the world, but just have vanilla Docker installed with Compose by default and just slap a basic UI on it. So I guess I do have to get OpenMediaVault extras. So let's do that. Let's just install it here, I guess. I'm not an administrator, of course. So maybe there's a sudo group that I just missed. It is here. I'm an idiot. Okay, there we go. Easy peasy. Okay, so I guess it worked. Oh, there it is. Okay, OpenMediaVault extras. Turn on the Docker repo. I remember we had to do this. And now we have 57. Oh, we have a whole bunch more stuff. So we have ZFS. That's cool. Wake on LAN, WireGuard. Why isn't this a thing by default? Compose plugin. Okay, how about we do that? So here, now, all right. So now we have like a little UI for Docker. A shared folder for file storage. OMV Docker. Compose settings, shared folder, OMV Docker, data folder. You know what? It's all going. It's all going in the same one. Composed file shared folder must be different from the data. Okay. Okay, let's do this again. OMV Docker data. OMV Docker backup. Nothing's running. Let's try, I guess. Add from example. How about we do Heimdall should be fairly straightforward. Okay. Time zone variable is not set. America, Chicago. Change to data path / Heimdall. Data. Here's the absolute path. Back in here. I hate this. Paste. Save. What now? My net declared as external but could not be found. Let's just use host. Network mode. Additional property. Oh, networks mode. Okay. Jesus Christ. Worked. So, address in use. Oh, yeah. I hate this. I'm not having a good time. The port should be exposed. It's going. Oh, there we go. Okay, for some reason my host name isn't working, but the IP does. Look how easy that was to get Heimdall up and running. So easy. All right, you know what? I think I'm done for now with OpenMediaVault. There's some other things in here. System information, logs. I do like, if I remember correctly, in logs, you can set up a remote server. So if you have a log server, you can set it here. It's good. You can go and look at what processes are running, what services, or what they're doing, I guess. Okay, some information about some services. Diagnostics report, kind of cool. Some information about your system. Performance statistics. Why can't you give me this on the dashboard? Literally my network interface traffic. Here you can see when the Rsync was running. Put this on the freaking dashboard. Oh my God, okay, whatever. OpenMediaVault 7 hasn't changed my mind on OpenMediaVault. I still think it's struggling to figure out what it's supposed to be. At the heart of it, I think it's just supposed to be a lightweight NAS operating system. And for that, I think it does an okay job. It's always been okay. As we've seen, it doesn't seem to have gotten any more intuitive, and the weird stepping stones and design choices and interface choices are still there. We have seen some improvements. I think they've eliminated a couple of steps to create shares, and they've added a few more dashboard widgets, but overall, it's still the thing that you're just going to install on a Raspberry Pi to make a basic NAS, and probably nothing more. And whether or not they want it to be more, you know, who knows? I don't know any of the devs. I'm not involved in their forums or anything. So admittedly, they could be like, yeah, we don't care about being anything other than that lightweight NAS operating system. That's fine. So maybe I'm completely out of line for giving them grief over a lack of, or a, I guess, bad implementation of containerization and Docker. But you know what? It's just my opinion. You know, who cares about it? I'm just a dude with a camera, so it's just not it, man. But if you disagree or you agree, I don't care. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. If you like this video, drop a like. If you like content like this, then subscribe, because it's kind of what I do. Open my mouth and blab about stuff. So if you like that, why? But cool. I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube members and my Patreons. You guys are my OpenMediaVault 8.0. That's surely a vast improvement over what we have here. Surely. You guys are great. And if you're still watching your OpenMediaVault containerization, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.